Hi, Michael Horn here, August 19th, 2015. I actually hope to have to apologize for these comments, for what I'm going to say today. And that is because I hope that these comments are actually going to be shown to be inaccurate and untrue and irrelevant. I don't think that that's going to be the case, but if it is, I want to be able to say I'm sorry to the people at Seti, who I called out for the first time in a blog a week and a half or two ago. And it should be said that to this moment, to this time, neither I nor any of the many people who've actually written to any and or all of the various personnel at Seti have received as much as one response, as a comment, a thank you for writing, or we're not going to comment, or this is a hoax, or anything else. The problem here is that the people who stand at the forefront, who should be at the forefront of knowledge and integrity, of a concern for society, the world, and all, the scientists, these are the people who have failed most miserably. They have failed their fellow citizens. They collect their checks, they go about their business. Seth Shostak goes to cocktail parties and talks about extraterrestrial life. This is something that none of these people know absolutely anything about, unless, of course, they have been looking into the Meier material. We've sent them a voluminous amount of it. But many of you now who've followed this information, who've followed the blog or the videos, you know far more about actual extraterrestrial life and the actual identified flying objects that they come here in than the people at Seti who are sitting around pontificating about this type of thing. Now, as I said, if they're studying the Meier material, they may well be on par with us, but they haven't spoken up about it. And it's a cynical, dreadful masquerade. It shows utter contempt for those of us who not only do know the truth about Billy Meier, the contacts with the Plejaren ongoing for more than 73 years, but for the rest of humanity that knows nothing about this and that should know something about it. The plain fact of the matter is we don't need Seti to tell us about the Billy Meier case, about real extraterrestrial life. We know that. We know it far better than they do. But they have stonewalled this. And you have to wonder why. Look, here's the real agenda that I have about it. I could care less about a bunch of poseurs at Seti with their fancy titles who pretend that this is their actual occupation. Search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This is what they call their company. And they could care less. They won't respond to anybody's inquiry, to anybody's submission of information. So why do I bother? I bother for this reason. Billy Meier's prophetic information has so far proved to be, unfortunately, impeccably, painfully accurate. We are seeing the unfolding of it every day, further and further into the environmental crisis, into the various provocations that could lead to a fourth world war. We are seeing just horrific stuff pertaining to the terrorism of the lunatic, degenerate Islamists, to be more precise, fundamentalist terrorists. This is unfolding while we speak. We can see our own country here in the U.S. being polarized further and further into coming civil war, breakdown in society. If Seti, if the personnel of Seti had the moral authority, had the integrity, had the concern as human beings for this world, for what we are all facing, they would go ahead and come forward and say, there is an authentic UFO contact case. It's been going on for decades. We've vetted this information. We've looked into it carefully. We didn't come forward prior to this time because we really had to be sure. We plan on our own further in-depth investigation, but we now bring this forward to the world that the world will know. Do you realize that there are enough people in this world distracted and overly entertained, bored, and frustrated and confused as they may be, who would sit up and take notice. Do you realize that the major news networks would have to address this? Unless Seth Shostak is afraid of being assassinated at cocktail parties, which I, of course, don't wish on him, he'd probably have quite a new career going around talking about the Billy Meier case. And we give him a kiss on his forehead to do that, a gold star on top of that. Go ahead, discover it. You can be the ones. We know that the people in the UFO community, the MUFON, the open minds, all this, they're going to be the last people to get it because they have a vested interest in keeping the Meier case hushed up and suppressed. As you know from one of these video blogs, MUFON and various people in that UFO community in Missouri did everything they could to make sure that I did not make a presentation there and awaken the sleepy masses to the fact that chasing lights in the sky is not the high point of our existence, that the Billy Meier case is the singular, authentic, ongoing UFO contact case. So getting back to Seti, if these people would step forward, and again, I'm publishing their email addresses on my website, I'm imploring them to grow a pair, whatever you want to call it, step up, because to break this pattern, to interrupt this pattern of destruction so that enough people can realize, hey, there is somebody out there, they're not malevolent, it's not the little evil, big-headed gray aliens and all that stuff. There is content here, the warnings are here, we need to at least pay attention and let this world wake up to learn how to stop this deterioration and destruction and devastation while there is still time to do it. So I want to enlist your help. I'm inviting you. Go to my blog, see those email addresses, start chatting them up. Call Seti, their phone number's on their website. Ask them what the problem is here, why they can't comment, why they won't come forward and say, well, this Billy Meier case, it's an absolute hoax and we can show you why. They won't do it, they haven't done it, and now is their chance. This is the chance to do something for humanity. Let us not forget that asteroid Apophis is still coming. Their voice could help to awaken, to garner and bring scientists together to do something about this otherwise certain catastrophic impact on this planet that they may not be concerned about because they think they'll be at a cocktail party where it's not going to affect them. Folks, it's up to us. Let's become a little proactive. Forget this idiocy with UFOs and extraterrestrials and all that junk on the internet. Fire up your rockets, get proactive, and let's do something about it.